today about question-answer relationships. We are looking at the 4 major types of questions. In the book questions, right there, think and search, in my head questions, author and you on my own. And we were just brainstorming different types of question types and why they are so. So we started with right there. And like Gabriel and Jairus rightly mentioned, right there questions can be taken directly from the text. In fact, they should not be changed. If they're changed, they are no longer right there questions. They become what? If I have to synthesize, rephrase, recombine statements, they're no longer right there questions, right? What do they become? What's the next stage? Yes, Duncan?
Think and search.
Think and search. Very good. Think and search. Okay. Now, can you give me an example of a think and search question? Duncan, would you like to give me an example of a think and search question?
No, I can't think of one.
Okay, never mind. It's all right. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? Jairus, yeah, go ahead.
Is it like the true, false, and then they'll ask you for a reason?
Yes, you are absolutely right. So why is that a think and search question? You're right. It is a think and search question. Why is that a think and search question? Jairus, you want to elaborate on why?
Make you think more about the question.
Okay, thank you. But in what way does it make you think more about the question? Gabriel, go ahead.
It's about the tense, because in the question and the paragraph, it might be the same. It might be the different tense. So you have to change the answer to the tense in the question.
I think I get what you're trying to say. Not just the tense, right? It could also be the person. It could be like the perspective is a bit different, right? So I need to shift the answer in some way. I need to change the content. I cannot just copy it directly from the passage. I've got to like rephrase it to answer the question. Okay. So for example, if I have a question, if I have a story about a person who let's say who is afraid of water. Okay, let's say I have a story of a hydrophobic person, right? Someone who's afraid of the water or being in the water. But the question asks me, let's say the person is James, right? James hates the water. He's like hydrophobic. But the question asks me, what can James not do? What can't James do? Okay. How would I answer that question? Brian?
James should not go swimming.
Okay, so James can't swim. Okay, or James should not go swimming. That's answering the question, right? But if I just copied the text from the passage and I just said, James was afraid of the water or James was hydrophobic, does that answer the question? No, it does not, right? So can you see a think and search question requires that I take the answer from the text and then I need to rephrase it. I need to change its structure or even its vocabulary such that it literally answers the question. So the question is not, what was he afraid of? The question is, what could he not do? So he could not swim. He could not go swimming. Do you all understand? So the difference between a right there question and a think and search question is a think and search question needs more work. You need to work on it. And what makes you work on it? Your awareness of the question. Do you all get it? The question is the king. It's not what you know. It's not what the passage says. It's what the question is asking you for. Do you understand? That's why many times you'll copy or you'll write a lot, and then you still get it wrong. It's because you're not answering the question. No matter how much you write, how much effort you invest, if you're not answering the question, you don't get the marks. Do you all understand? Okay, so QAR teaches you to be very conscious of the question. What is the question asking you for? What type of question is it? If it's right there, I can simply plug the answer there. If it's think and search, I've got to take one further step to rephrase in order to answer the question, whether it's tense, like Gabriel said, or it's aspect or person, or even the vocabulary is not appropriate. I can't say, he was afraid of water or he was hydrophobic. I need to change it to he could not swim. Why? Because a person who's afraid of water or hydrophobic cannot swim. So I need to change the way I answer the question, even though the fact is the same. All right? So that's good. Let's go a little bit deeper in my head. Now, what might author and you be? Like, what kind of a question? How do you think an author and you question appears in a comprehension passage? Okay, Nicholas, go ahead.
Like what values they showed in the story.
I like that. I like that. Okay. So what value did this person display or exemplify in the story? Excellent. Okay. Maybe Nicholas, can you give us an example of a question? You know, like just create one on the spot.
From this story, what kind of morals have you learned?
Okay, very good. Thank you. So you, right? So the author is asking you for your own personal response, but it's still based on the story, right? Right? Like Nicholas said, from the story, what moral or value have you learned? So I'm looking at the story and then I'm giving the moral. And then I also need to support with evidence from the story, right? From the way that Clarissa was being honest during the exam, I learned the value of honesty. Okay, so can you see that it's a combination of think and search and my own feelings? Can you see that it's building up like this? So right there is just what's in the text. Think and search is me working on the text. Author and you is me working on the text and then adding my own thoughts and feelings and emotions. Can you see it's going upwards, right? It gets more and more difficult. So can you also see that the number of the question will increase? So I might find a right there question in question 71. I might find a think and search question in 73. I might find an author and you question all the way to the last question, maybe question 80. Can you all see? Most comprehension passages are arranged in order of difficulty like this. Okay, so right there. The last category, thank you, Nicholas, for making that quick and painless. Huh? The last category is on my own. Now, anybody wants to try this? This is a bit challenging. You know why? And I'll tell you why later. Okay, who wants to give me an on my own question? Anybody? Some difficulty, right? Some difficulty, right? It's a bit more difficult, right? And I'll explain to you why in a moment, okay? Gabriel, you want to try?
Is it those questions like where they ask you, how can you display the morals in your daily life that the author have displayed in the text? Is it?
Oh, very good, very good. I think that's an excellent example of, you know, how can you display in your own life? Is that the crux of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's great. That's a good example. And I agree with you. When was the last time you saw that kind of question in a comprehension passage? Have you ever seen that kind of question? I challenge you, you look through all your notes, you go through all your previous year's exam papers, you will be very, very hard-pressed to find one example, even one, of an on my own question. It's very rare. Most times in like, you know, exam papers, they will go up to author and you and then they'll stop. Okay. Another example, like Gabriel gave us a good one, which is how can I apply it in my own life? Another example might, if you were the character, would you have behaved differently? You know, so pretend you are the character. Would you behave in the same way or would you do something totally different? Right? So that's also an on my own question. So now you are the character, right? And you have to behave in your own way. Okay? Right? Any questions? So these are the 4 categories, and they are in ascending order of difficulty. The more difficult, the more you have to write. So right there, think and search, author and you, on my own. Now, I give you another question. How many marks do you think each of these questions is worth? Now you want to try? Okay, right there. You use your finger, show me how many marks. Okay, okay. Yep, it could be 1, could be 2, could be 3. Okay, good. Yep. Think and search. Think and search. Yeah. Think and search cannot be 1. Think and search should be 2 or 3. Okay, think and search could be 2 or 3. Because think and search is always multi-component. There must be at least 2 parts to it. Okay, a lot of why questions, right? Was Jane the doing this, why? That kind of question would be think and search. Author and you? Yeah, also 2, 3. Yeah, very good. Okay, also 2, 3. Yeah, because it's a multi-part question. So you see, if you know what type of question, you will know how much to write. Correct? And finally, on my own is like, 3, kind of 3, right? A lot of times it'll be like, if you were this character, would you do this? Right? Why? Or why not? Kind of thing. Okay, thank you. Very good. Okay, so I'm just going to put this up here as a summary for what we just discussed. And you need to be able to identify and then answer according to the question type. All right, you should have covered this at least 3 years in a row, right? You should know all of these categories. Do you remember in primary 3 and 4 learning how to tag each type of question? Is this a right there question? Is this a thing and such? Do you remember doing that? Not if you remember doing that. Shake your head if you don't remember. Okay, a lot of head shaking. Okay, Claire, please don't bang your head accidentally. Okay, yep. Okay, so I take it that most of you are familiar with this, so I won't go too much into it. Let's go into a little bit of practice. Okay, then we'll end today's session, and I will post a video for you as a bit of a review and refresher. Right, then we will practice on a practice paper proper to tag these questions when we come back on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so let's take a look at this. I'm telling you now, this is a right there question. Okay, I tagged it for you already. Okay. Can someone just like fling the answer out for me quickly? Clarissa, go.
Sea urchins
And
grouper fish.
yes, very good. Okay. So can you see that all Clarissa needed to do was plug the words out. She didn't need to do anything to them, right? She literally just copy and pasted. Okay. So a right there question can be thought of as a copy and paste answer. Very easy. Plug out, put in. Vocabulary, plug out, put in. Content, plug out, put in. Nouns, plug out, put in. Okay. So it's quite straightforward. Very easy for your this kind of question. Can you see number 71? It's the first comprehension question. Usually right there questions are right at the beginning, and you cannot lose marks here. Be very careful, please. All right. 1 point, 1 mark. 2 points, 2 mark. Okay, let's go. Next one. Okay, this one thing as such. Notice it's a why question. Okay, a lot of times why questions will be 2 mark questions, and they are 2 parts. Okay, so a lot of you you will only give 1 part answer to this. But I challenge you to always look at the marks, right? Because think and search question is always multi-part. In other words, it's always more than 1 part. Okay, Brian, you want to try?
She had forgotten to take pictures of the marine creatures, and said that her camera is waterproof.
What is the question, Brian?
Why did swim further?
You see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is an excellent example. Okay, so thank you, Brian. Brian got 1 part correct. Okay, I will give him credit where credit is due. But you can see that you lose track of the question, you will give the wrong answer. What has the camera being waterproof got to do with anything, right? It's about why Tara swam further out into the sea. Okay, the question is why she went further, not why she went swimming, why she went further. So like in debate, right, the keyword is further. Can you all see? If you don't clash at the keyword, you will not give the correct answer. Okay, so let's hear Duncan, you try. Give me the answer, the full answer.
She had forgotten to take pictures of the marine creatures, and she knew that the tour guide mentioned that there were many more beautiful species of fish if they swim further into the sea.
Not a very economical answer. Okay, too wordy, too long. Okay, I want it to be condensed. Remember, think and search means I need to rephrase my answer in order to adequately answer the question. I cannot just lift up, right? You notice Duncan was lifting an entire chunk, mentioned that there are many more so I don't want. I need to rephrase it to answer the question. The question is, why did she swim out further? So what did she swim out further for? Why did she do it? Anybody? Better? Okay, Nicholas, go.
To get her waterproof camera.
Huh?
So that she can take pictures of the marine creatures.
Okay, no and no, right? You don't need to swim out further to take pictures of the marine creatures, correct? So that's not the point. And two, the waterproof camera I already mentioned has nothing to do with why she needs to swim out further. Can you all see here the issue, right? We have gotten a 0 for that question, you know. Claire?
Because there were many more.
I can't hear you. You're breaking up. Try again.
Because there were more beautiful species of fish if they swam further into the sea.
Okay. There were more beautiful species of fish if they swam further out. That's reason 1. And the second reason was she had forgotten to take photos of the fish. Correct? Wrong. Right? Do you all understand? The first reason is correct. The first reason that Claire said was why do you swim out further? Because there are more beautiful species of fish further out. That's why she swam out. That's reason 1. Second reason, she wanted to take photos of them. You cannot say she forgot to take photos because she forgot to take photos of the normal ones before she swam out further. This is the first time she's swimming out further. She didn't forget. Do you all understand? Can you see? I explained to you again. She had swum out to a certain distance. Then she went back to the resort. On the way back, she realized that she forgot to take pictures of the fish she already saw. Then, now she wants to swim even further out. Why? Because further out, there are more beautiful fish. And then, when she swims further out, which she has not swum before, she can take pictures of those fish. Do you get it? So, point 1, she wanted to swim further out because there were more beautiful species of fish. And point number 2, she wanted to take photos of these more beautiful pictures, these more beautiful species. You understand? Everybody, can you see think and search suddenly becomes 5 times more difficult than right there. Okay? If you're not careful, you will miss the important point. Do y'all see? Once you get to a 2-mark question, a think and search question, you have to be very careful. You cannot overlook the important details. You have to think of the question, the keyword being further, and then you have to apply yourself to it. Now, let's do one more. Okay. So on my own question, I generated 2. Okay. You want to try to answer? Okay, so the story is that they were out snorkeling, they were beautiful, and then it looked like it was going to rain, right? And then so the 2 sisters headed back to the resort. So my on my own question is, if you were Kara or Tara, would you have returned to the resort? Why? Anybody wants to try this? So you have to answer 2 questions for the price of 1. Okay, Solomon, come, try. Give your answer if you would or would not first before going to the why.
I would have returned to the resort.
Okay. Wait, stop. Okay. How many of you agree? How many of you disagree? Who says I wouldn't return to the resort? I will not return. Okay. Yeah. So there are some people who say no. Okay, good. This kind of question, yes and no are both correct. Do you understand? Everybody, do you understand? The yes and no both okay. It's up to you. But it's the reason that you use to support your yes, no that will give you the 2 marks or the 0. Your reason must be strong. Okay. So let's hear Solomon's reason. Solomon, what's your reason for? Yeah.
It is dangerous to swim in the ocean if it's raining because lightning could strike the water and you may get electrocuted.
Okay, don't need to go into so much detail, right? The keyword is what? What's the keyword, Solomon?
Dangerous.
Yes, dangerous. Thank you. Right. So the word dangerous will secure you the mark. So your yes, I would return. Why? Because it's dangerous when it rains. Okay, good. So, Claire, I noticed that you shook your head just now, right? You said no, right? So you would not return. Can you tell me why? Let's see if your reason is good enough.
Because like if it's like raining, like and you go out into the rain, you might get sick the next day.
No lah, then you would say you would go back, what? No, I thought you said that you won't go back. Would you go back or you won't go back?
I said I would go back.
I
I mean like
then-
I will stay in the house lah.
As in you will go back to the resort, you won't go out, right? Okay, sorry. Anybody says that they will continue snorkeling and not go back to the resort? Anybody? Help me out here. I want to hear a contrasting view. You mean everybody play safe? Nobody said.
I also want to do the no. I also want to do.
Okay, quick. In the interest of time, I'm not going to ask someone else to do it. Okay, Solomon, go. Finish it for us.
I would have not returned to the resort because it might be your only chance to take pictures of the marine animals.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so maybe this is the only chance I get, right? If I go back because of the rain, I won't get a chance to take pictures. So I'm willing to take the risk in order to get the rare pictures of these beautiful species of fish. Very good. Thank you, Solomon. So either way, both answers are equally correct. Do you understand? So on my own, it's not so much the correct answer, it's the correct reason. So you must come up with a supporting reason that's compelling enough to support your answer. Can everybody? So do you kind of get the idea? We've revised the 4 different question types. On Monday, when we come back, we'll go through a PhD paper and we'll practice categorizing the questions and answering them so that we get the full marks that are allocated to them. Ken, any questions? Is it clear enough to you all about the 4 main types of question types in comprehension? If you have any questions, you can always review this video, okay? I will try to edit it and post it first thing this evening. Ken, I go back to this question. This question is very challenging, okay? So we will do questions related to this a lot so that you are trained in author and me questions, because these are usually the most challenging questions that appear in a comprehension in the exams. Okay, Ken, everybody, all good? If you have any questions to ask me about debate, right, you may stay behind. If you're all okay and you're all good, then you may go. Have a good weekend. I'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.
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 Bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I take it that you are here because you have some questions? No? No questions? Right? You're just staying until the end, see who's the last one? Okay, yes. Okay.
Mr. Pang.
Yep.
For debate, right? Can we like remain the same? Can both teams remain like at the same motion?
Depends on which motion it is. Like, for example, I don't want to hear the motion on the mother should receive an annual pay anymore. I don't want to repeat the motion about homework should be made optional because that's been done twice already. It's very boring. If I hear it a third time, I think I'll fall asleep. So yes, but if your motion has not yet been heard or it's only been done once, then I think I can tolerate a second time. Okay, Brian, does that answer your question?
My motion had already been done once, like by my group and the others, and there's another group which have not done the same motion.
Huh? What do you mean?
Yeah, they haven't do the it's another group that's the same motion as the group, but they haven't do it yet.
Is it Duncan and Ariel's group?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I-
haven't done it yet.
I'm not in Duncan's group.
No,
Yes.
she's in the other one.
Yeah
Both
lah,
of
but
Joshua and
both of
Kevin
you
area.
are, yeah. So if they are going to debate on Monday and it's going to be the same motion as yours, Brian, then you will have to change.
Change.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Brian?
Change.
Okay? Yep. Okay, thank you. Stephanie, are you feeling better?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Stephanie, are you there?
Stephanie.
Hello, Stephanie, are you there?
Maybe it's just lying down in bed, resting or just.
Okay, all right. Bye, Duncan. See you. Okay, bye.
Hold
Bye,
on.
Ariel.
I want to ask a question.
Yes, what is it? Quickly.
How exactly should I say my discard by Vipatos?
You've watched enough of the others doing it. Do it like they do. They've been doing a good job. What? Okay? Just follow according to what they have been doing. Okay? Yeah. In fact, I've scripted it into your scripts, right, Ariel? I've scripted it in like how you should reply to rebuttals and all of that. Okay, just follow the format of the script. Can? Okay. All right, gotta go. Bye.
Go away. Why you sit in the
Bye,
staff
Mr.
room?
Pang. Bye.
Why you sit in the staff room?
Okay, I'm not gonna answer that. See you on Monday. Bye. I'm ending
Yeah,
the
see you on
call.
Monday.
Bye.